Kurt Murphy here from Custom Audio Mutation on a beautiful, rainy, melancholy day here in Akron, Ohio. I'm doing my best Keith impression with the 5-string open G. It's such a cool tuning. It just feels like it wants to give you songs. No wonder Keith uses it all the time. So I have here a beautiful, beautiful, early CBS Silverface Princeton Reverb, which means that it's still from the blackface realm, just with the little silver faceplate on it. Came in, it needed the 3-prong cord installed. It had the 2-prong, which is wildly unsafe and illegal. And just did a couple other little mods to the amp to stabilize the amp from potential oscillation, also to help modern 6v6s survive, because the amp was designed at 117 volts, not 120, 121, 122, 125, which sometimes is what comes out of the wall and can, hurt newer modern 6v6s, because let's be honest here, you can spend $300 on new old stock tubes and still get turds. As my hero and mentor Bruce Ignator says, tubes suck. But you didn't hear that from me. Anyway, this amp is just gorgeous. It's a 2-bias tremolo. Nothing beats tube rectifier tremolo. The LDRs, hey, they're cool. They got their own thing, but man, that's just the silkiest, sexiest, most inviting tremolo on the face of the oith. This is a super simple amp. There's not a lot to talk about other than maybe what I did to it. It has been lovingly maintained. So the amplifier came in, and it's already been, it has been recapped, and in my opinion, it's been recapped well. Maybe not the Sprague Adams and top tier blah blah blah, but it's pretty well done. There's some tack soldery stuff going on where they're kind of tacked in, but I went through that and got some mechanical action going on. The big things that I did to the amp, which, before I get, crucified by the purists and this and that, I really don't care about the purity of a circuit. I care about how an amp sounds. So the 0.1 microfarad caps, the blue Astrons, which I still have, for all you vintage goofballs, all you snake oil drinkers, I still have them. They're not leaky. They're fine. Those are too big. They let through too much low end for this entire circuit. So I put in 0.022s. It's a Marshall value. And what it does is it just tightens up the low end, so you don't get blocking distortion, flubby tubby wubby, when you turn the amp up past, 5. And it just tightens up the signal. It doesn't ruin how this amp sounds. It makes it sound better. It cleans it up. I installed 1K screen grid resistors, which screen grid resistors, which is more than double what Fender eventually ended up putting in there, which were the 470 ohm. This is just an added level of de-stressery for the power tubes. It does not screw up the tone. It just doesn't screw up the tone. All it does is help extend your tube life. These amps were built without screen grid resistors and without, they're a little hard to see because I got them shrink tubied, without grid stoppers at the control grids, 1K5s, which I installed 1K5, metal film, 1 watt V-Shay, I call them the brown pills because they look like little brown pills, into the, onto pin 5. And all I did was I moved some wires around from pin 4 on the power tube to pin 6, and then jumpered over to pin 4 with the new 1K 5 watt sugar cube resistors, as I call them. These are a decent quality, cement or cement or whatever the heck resistor. And went through, measured all the resistors and all the values. Everything is, at that cool vintage kind of 10, 15, 20% over here and there, which gives you your cool, sexy vintage blackface. Then the 3-prong wiring was done, where you can see that our earth safety ground, per regulations of the universe and not getting killed by your amp, is grounded and attached to its own solder tag. It's not attached to a transformer. It's not soldered to the chassis. It has its own nut bolt. It's a nylon lock nut, and then I've got clear Loctite nail polish over the top of it, and it's soldered there for safety. The live wire, the black, is fused so that if you have a mad current draw, something along those lines, the fuse will pop and no 120 volt, no 120 volt AC will get into the amp after that, protecting your valuable transformers, all the other stuff. And then the neutral is attached to the power transformer. This is a Hammond aftermarket transformer. It has been replaced. I twisted up the leads just to help kind of bring down any potential noise floor. And just to clean it up, it had a lot of spaghetti in there, a lot of excess carbs. And then I redid a lot of the tack solder work that had been done before. That's my one complaint about the amp, is that a lot of the work is tack solder work instead of J-hooking. So these eyelets, you would hook the component through for a nice mechanical bond and then solder that together. That's a important technique that I learned from all of my mentors. So Lyle Caldwell, Brad Webb, Bruce Ignator, Robert Hull, Rob Robinette, all the guys that help me when I get stuck on stuff. And I did reach out for help on this because I didn't know if I should put grid stoppers at the control pins because of the fact that it is a cathode biased, fixed bias combo. I didn't know if that might screw anything up. It doesn't. It didn't. And this amp, as you can tell from my crummy little cell phone videos, sounds absolutely gorgeous. So that's pretty much it. It's a beautiful, beautiful little amp. I don't even want to give it back. I'm going to have to build myself one of these. It's wonderful.